running a few minutes late. How's it going out there? Hopefully we got some people watching. I know
Danny Goldstein said hi.
Danny Goldstein said hi. I got something you might like tonight. I know Two Legs had stream on about their trip to Beetle Fest about an hour ago. Don't know if they're still on. How's it going out there today?
Mikey's in if you want to ask him about next week.
Mikey, how you doing? Mikey Arugula, can we do a Every Little Thing Beatles episode with Mikey Arugula next Wednesday? Let me know. Danny, what was it, Danny?
Goldstein, he had said
He's into the Billy Joel, right?
I think he was, yeah.
Thomas Crook said hello. Mikey said
Thomas
yes.
Crook. All right, we're on next Wednesday with Mikey Arugula.
Sounds good, bud.
And the phone is ringing. Frank's not home right now. All right.
Paulie's here. Nice meeting Frank, Travis, and Sticker Grandson at the fest. Sorry I missed Ari and Sticker Teenager. Had a blast.
Paulie.
Paulie, and then a little Beatles corner. Hello, Frank.
How you doing, Patricia?
And then Uncle Paul's Beetle Pop Playhouse. Welcome back from Chicago. And
Uncle
T-shirt
Paul.
Express. Hi, everybody.
T-shirt Express. All right. I got your shirt on there. T-shirt Express, Polly from Staten Island. You show that close up there.
Let me try to get it right. I think it's like...
That's his card there. All right. We got, Danny, we got these Hassel's pictures back today. They made these from these contacts. And they blew them up to 8x8s. And they turned out pretty good. I assume this is your relative there, John Small. Is that the right name? The drummer. Billy Joel when he was 17. But we got those back today from the camera shop.
Danny Goldstein, I'm at Sitterfield watching your show during a rain delay.
Sitterfield, aren't they? They're gonna do a August 15th. They're gonna do New York Mets are gonna celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Beatles playing Shea Stadium.
T-shirt Express said love it. The shirt, and then Danny Goldstein said yes, very cool. John Small.
John Small, I got the name right. Jon Small. I guess tomorrow they're going to have the official announcement of the John Lennon 1972 one-to-one concert. They're going to come out with a deluxe box set with 92 tracks. And they only performed, I think, 31 live tracks in those two shows. So I don't know what's all going to be included in the 92 tracks. But Sean Lennon's got this big box set coming out October 10th. Power to the People. That's what the name of it is.
Danny Goldstein said he will be there Friday. So will Mikey at the Beatles.
August 15th?
Yeah. And then I'm the Paul should not be allowed to die guy. I'm buying a wooden Capitol Records 45 counter display with 2 rows. It says great artist and the Capitol logo.
Okay.
And great artist on the radio.
All right. Limit your messages to a couple lines, please.
Great music and great artist.
All right. Perry Cox. Mikey alerted me to that not Perry Cox. Somebody had something new. I don't have a something new cover with me right now. Beatles something new cover, and it was a paste over a Beatles second album, a mono something new from 1964 pasted over a second album, Beatles second album. So I don't know if that was a fluke or how that happened, but their person on eBay wants $2,900 for it. And then Perry Cox sold I was bidding on this harmonica, 1964 harmonica that was on the backing card, and it zoomed from $500 to $2,100 in a matter of a second. So Perry Cox has some serious bidders when he has those items like that. And then last week, somebody sold a 1965 full-size unused Shea Stadium ticket stub, not stub, complete ticket to the 1965 Beatles at Shea Stadium for $3,200. Supposedly, there's only 9 in the world that of unused ticket, because it was a sold-out show. So the only way you could find an unused ticket would have been somebody that couldn't attend the show. John Fogerty just did has some sort of podcast that he's got a Rolling Stone interview. And in part of the interview, he says, I did what the Beatles did all by myself. I didn't have 2 other guys to write songs with me. That's pretty bold to say I did what the Beatles did, I'd say. Even though I do like CCR, I can't put John Fogerty in the same category as the Beatles. I'm sorry. Not personally, I can't. What other notes? I got one little couple Chaperone things. Chaperone is #1 in England this week with the Subway, and she's #3 in the United States. She's the first musical artist to have 2 #1 songs in the United Kingdom in 2025. So way to go, Chapel. And it's bringing Pink Pony Club back into the top 10. Pulling that song right back up again. What else? Her Way Out West show in Gothenburg, Sweden a few days ago. Almost 62 years after the Beatles played there. They professionally videoed it, and the whole show, 120 minutes, is up on YouTube. It's pretty amazing. You should check it out. Tonight she's playing at the Frequency Festival in Austria. And that's all my Chapel.
Alright, I'm the Paul Should Not Be Allowed to Die guy. What should I look for on the Meet the Beatles cover to see if it is glued on a different cover?
You need to look, there will be a little bit of glue lines around the edge. I don't have a Meet the Beatles here right now, I don't think. I got a rubber sole. That's the rubber sole mono. But to Meet the Beatles, you can see some glue residue where they pasted it on. And you have to find one that doesn't have a number on the back. This is a 3 Scranton. But the ones that were pasted over didn't have a number.
Johnny Ramone, Mr. Moonlight on the table, Krista Mark.
Is it what?
Is Mr. Moonlight?
Oh yeah, Mr. Moonlight's right here. There's a little story I got to tell.
And then a little Beatles corner. I bid on the Coreyman autographs he had. They went for over 700. Disappointed.
Perry Cox?
A little Beatles corner.
But was she bidding on Perry Cox?
Oh yeah. I'm guessing that's what it was.
So I got this in yesterday. Beatles, I think Mikey's got one of these. Beatles Wing Ding 1964 sneakers. What's nice about this, these are the high tops. Size 4, women's. Pretty rare to find the high tops. And it's got the original wrapping paper in the box. And I've already made a trade on this with Beetle Ron from the East Coast. I'm trading these for a East Coast stereo second state butcher cover.
Caesar, Hi Frank, and Sticker Grandson. The Oda one, I know, the young adult one. I saw your live stream at the Beatle Fest. Seemed fun.
Yeah, that worked out pretty good. That was impromptu and rushed, but it turned out pretty good. Thomas Crook was there, Gus Lopez, Beatles pro Tom, and Mazzy even showed up at the end of it. Yesterday on Rachel Ghost 2 channel, me and Mazzy negotiated. He's got one of these in the blue sneakers. and I negotiated with him a $1,000 deal. So I'll have that next week to show. I'm not gonna send this to Beetle Ron until we do the live stream with Mikey Arugula next week, so I can show both the high tops and the blue sneakers side by side.
That'd be cool.
Let's show some what's on the table here.
Shoot.
So I went to a book and music exchange and looked through their music books today, and what did I find? I found a Magical Mystery Tour book by Tony Bramwell, but when I opened it up, it's hand signed by Tony Bramwell, and there he is. Towards the end of his life, he signed it for this man right here. Just a real cheers, Tony Bramwell. But story goes, in the foreword of Bruce Spicer's book, Tony Bramwell did the foreword, and he says this is his hand, this blob here is his hand in the Beatles for Sale cover photo. You know, this is one of my favorite Beatle albums of all time. Mr. Moonlight. You gonna sing Mr. Moonlight for us?
I don't know how it goes. Caesar.
Maybe me and Mikey will sing some Mr. Moonlight next week.
Caesar, I like that huge photo in the background of all the people screaming for the Beatles. I suppose the way
He hasn't
was
been
that
around
taken?
to talk about that, so you have to talk.
That's the girls at the field level 1965 Shea Stadium when it was sold out. You can see it sold out all the way to the top. The father of this girl right here was the one that took this photo. But you can see they all have binoculars that they rented for $1, and a lot of them have Beatle buttons on. We're going to do a little trivia question on the Rolling Stones' first tour to America in a little bit.
I'm the pause should not be allowed to die guy. My Meet the Beatles has a 6 and has a little glue on the top strip.
Yeah, there won't. There's no number 6. That's number Los Angeles West Coast. That won't be. There won't be another cover underneath there. That only happened on the East Coast because they were selling so much in the New York area. Over 1 million in the New York area, they couldn't keep up with the production even 24 hours a day, so they had to start pasting over other Capitol covers that weren't selling at the time.
Thomas Quirk, the last thing I bought at the fest was a MFSL Beatles for Sale. Beatles for Sale from our friends at Rockaway Records.
Rockaway Records, give me that.
This.
Yeah. Rockaway Records, Mr. Wayne Johnson was there. I talked to him a while. He asked me how I was doing on YouTube. And I made a deal with him to buy this 1966 disco case. Yellow one. It's got the instruction sticker on the side. And it's got the insert in there. And it's got the W. They made one kind, only the yellow color, with the WTRY Buffalo, New York radio station. And I have a program from '66, the one that Mikey went to at Shea Stadium. And on the back, it's autographed by all the DJs at WTRY. So it says WTRY right there. So that's pretty cool. So this is a good match right here.
Margaret.
Yeah, I don't know the mic. You just go.
I think that was about the poster, but a little Beatles corner. How much would you ask for the MMT Bramwell book? The Magic Mystery Tour.
That's autographed. I just got it today. I'd sell it for $25. All right, Mikey said that this was a good. I showed this photo from the Connie Denave collection. Show me the second book back. No, you got it, the little one right there.
This one,
Yeah.
behind it.
The Connie Denave.
Johnny Ramone said Huda -3-4 Beatles for sale yesterday. Sounds amazing too.
You got to have a -1 too, Pep, if you really want to hear the Beatles for sale in its full glory. So this is when all these cards were put together on the back, it created a poster, was exactly this picture right here. So this is the 1965 Donruss from Memphis, Tennessee, the Freddie and the Dreamers box of the top of the cards, trading cards. This is a full set of cards here. I think there were like 60 in the set. And there's a original pinback button of Freddie and the Dreamers from 1965. So all this is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store, the pink one. It is up for sale on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store.
Like Patricia wants it, she'll say she'll take
The book?
Yeah.
All right, so Patricia's buying the book. Way to go, Patricia. I hope you have a Beatles for sale that you can play a Mr. Moonlight while you read the book.
From Caesar, we went to Rockaway Records about 2 weeks ago when we met up with Chance, concert buddy, Vinyl Pipper, John Marino, etc. I got an OG Matthew Sweat record.
All right, that's more than 2 lines. That's more than 2 lines. Rockaway Records has an open house this Friday. It's usually appointment only, but this Friday it's open. Wayne and Gary are going to be at the shop, I'm sure, at their showroom only from 10 till 4. So if you're in the LA area, you don't have to have an appointment this Friday only. We also found this in the at the Books and Music Exchange today. I met Kenneth Womack a couple Beatle Fests ago in Chicago, and he wrote this book. He got a hold of the Mal Evan diaries, so this is going to be a pretty interesting book. Living the Beatles Legend, the untold story of Mal Evans. Bought this at the fest for my local friend Dave Fraser. Gonna put this in the mail tomorrow from Bruce Spicer. Beatles for sale to help. The Bruce Spicer book.
Patricia, we got the money. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so these Rolling Stone contacts and some other things I got from the fest. So they made my contacts, the original contacts you saw were only about this size that I got from the Connie Denave collection, and the Photoshop was able to enlarge them to this size for me, but then there can also make 8x8 prints for me. So this is the Rolling Stones. They got a dog there. This is their first tour to America. No, that's the second, because Connie gave them some flowers. That's the second time they came to America right there. There's Connie right in the middle of it. That's not Connie. That's a girl that's got the promo cover of the first Rolling Stones album. And I have one that's not that good a shape, but it matches up with the photo. She's holding on to it right in the middle of all the Rolling Stones. And hers has the promotional copy, not for sale sticker on the cover with the white promo label, FFRR. This is a historical artifact. This is my private collection. What other contact sheets? These are all from the Stones. This is the first time they were at the Kennedy Airport and they were getting interviewed. I'm going to have some of these made bigger. Some of the girls have Rolling Stone posters. It says, welcome Rolling Stones, and Rolling Stones and the Beatles are the best. One's got the Rolling Stones. That's the only photo. I'm going to get that blown to an 8x8. Have you ever seen the Rolling Stones photo where all 5 of them are given the nankers, where they're pulling their nostrils out? All 5 of them. They call that nankers in London or in England. All 5. I've seen individually Keith and Brian Jones doing that. Never seen a photo where all 5 were doing it. There they are with Murray the K.
A little Beatles corner.
Rolling Stones are the best. Happy birthday, Charlie. We love you, the Rolling Stones.
A little Beatles corner. I have old Brian Epstein contact.
Epstein.
Epstein contact.
You can say it either way.
Could I do that too?
Yeah. You can make these bigger. It costs some money, but you can make them bigger. That's the Murray the K right there. So that's pretty cool. They were able. I'm going to get some 8x8s made of those. Here's some 8x8s I got made today. The Rolling Stones with their manager, Andrew Oldham, however you say his name right, Oldham, Oldham. There they are in their hotel room, the first time in America, June 1st probably. There's a Brian Jones. There's a Mick Jagger and Keith Richards running for it when the girls are all after them when they came out of the RCA studios in New York City. If RCA had a studio recording place in New York, I know they had one out in LA. There they are on the WMCA when they were being interviewed on one of the radio stations in New York in June. There's Bill Wyman with all the girls around him. He even has a Rolling Stone magazine down there on the table. Rolling Stones with all the girls that were in the taxi that were following them. There they are at the marquee, the entrance for the Peppermint Lounge. You can see Keith Richards signing an autograph right before he goes in. And there's Brian Jones signing an autograph back there also. There they are at their table at the Peppermint Lounge with Murray the K. I'm not sure who this older gentleman is yet. There they are, Keith, dancing with the professional dancers at the Peppermint Lounge. This girl here dances with Ringo Starr in February. That's in the Beatles 64 documentary, The First Visit. And you got Mick Jagger and Keith Richards signing autographs for a couple girls. These are all from the first time in America. All right, we'll do our little trivia questions. When I went to the camera shop today, they accidentally made some photos for me of the Les Crane show. And so I'm going to give these 3 away. These are made from the original negatives of their first television appearance ever in America. It was only televised in the New York City area on June 2nd of 1964. Here are the trivia questions that win these 3 8x12 photos. Question 1. What date, I might have just said this one, so this might be easy. What date were the Rolling Stones interviewed on the Les Crane TV show in New York City? What was the date? You don't have to have the year, we already know it's 1964. Which Rolling Stone member, they had a little name tag, or it wasn't a name, they had Rolling Stone 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in front of each member because they didn't think anybody would know their real names. So which Rolling Stone member was Rolling Stone number 3 at the Les Crane TV interview? Which Rolling Stone member was listed as number 3? And last question, what song did the Stones perform at Carnegie Hall on June's? This is the only sold out show the Rolling Stones had on their first tour. They performed twice at the Carnegie Hall. Both shows were sold out. The girls were dressed up and they went crazy standing on their seats. One of the songs they performed that night became the first Stones song to hit the Billboard charts. What was the name of the Rolling Stones song they performed at Carnegie Hall that first made it to the Billboard charts? Those are the 3 questions. You want me to repeat them? What date were the Rolling Stones interviewed on the Les Crane TV show in New York City? Which Rolling Stone member was listed as number 3 on this interview on the Les Crane TV show? What song did the Stones perform at Carnegie Hall on June 20th of 1964 that became the first Stones song to hit the Billboard charts? They had not hit the Billboard charts when they performed at the Carnegie Hall, but they performed that song. Anybody do it? Nobody's answered it yet. I'll give you a little hint. The Rolling Stones didn't write the song, but they didn't write hardly any of the songs on the first album.
Well, that's what Paul Not to Be Allowed to Die guy said earlier. Some of early Jagger Richards songs are listed as written by Nanker Peligan?
Nanker Pledge. Yeah. It's not that though. It's wrote by another artist. One of these songs here, it was performed at the Carnegie Hall and it made it the first Stone song to make it to the Billboard charts.
Not Fade Away.
I do Patricia. She's the first one to have everything in one month.
That's not showing up.
Patricia.
Why is that not?
Little Beatles corner.
No, okay, I got it to show up. Alright. It's down here in the bottom.
June 4th, no, it's not Satisfaction. Somebody got the title right, the song right. You gotta have all 3 of them in the same answer.
That's why I didn't want you even to see that one, but I know you saw it.
That's a tough one. June 4th is not correct. Any other answers?
Not yet.
But you're close. Yeah, you're right. The province is, I don't know how to say that right. Saskatchewan. Caesar, that is not the, when they were on the, that's the Carnegie Hall. We're talking about what was the date that they were interviewed on the Les Crane show. Greg Field's got it again. Good job, Greg Field. Well, you're quick on them. Quick on the answers. So the date the Rolling Stones were interviewed on the Les Crane TV show in New York City and was only went out to New York City was June 2nd of 1964. Which Rolling Stone member was number 3? If I can find that. Rolling Stones member listed as number 3 was Brian Jones. And the last question, Not Fade Away by Buddy Holly, was the first Stone song to hit the Billboard charts. Way to go, Greg Field. All right, these are the 3 that go to Greg. This is a picture, I've showed it before, of the Rolling Stones on June 3rd of 1964. They were on the Les Crane June 2nd in New York City. A day later, they were in Los Angeles on the Hollywood Palace, where Dean Martin introduced them. All right, that's my Rolling Stones moment.
Greg Fio said thanks.
All right. Let's show the other things I got from the fest. We got through that.
Does?
Yes. Show me the Sgt. Pepper. Those two Sgt. Pepper.
Oh, is that one also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got this at the auction in the ballroom where Mark Lapidus and Tom Frangione
Take it.
were the...
Angle. Do you want to angle it down a little bit? There you go, right there.
So this is from 1978. The original, the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart Club Band. A promo poster that was in stores that says on Capitol Records and tapes on the bottom. A picture of the album cover. And why did they go to this extreme to call it the original? Because the same time, the stores were loaded with this right here. So I'm thinking the original Sgt. Pepper was back on the charts again thanks to this movie. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I'm thinking it might even went close to #1 again on the charts. So this album was all over the record stores. So the Beatles had to come up with a way to make sure people were buying the real deal, the real Sgt. Pepper. So I got this at the ballroom auction. It is matted and everything is pretty cool, I think. Put this with it. Here's a Sgt. Pepper sealed import from 1978. You can tell it by this hype sticker here, imported England, capital and EMI. This is when they imported these, they weren't factory sealed in the United Kingdom, so they loosely shrink wrapped them here in the United States. I got a 78 Abbey Road sealed. That's a Harry T. Moss recut with less bass roll-off and a Sgt. Pepper stereo from 1978, a UK pressing. Both of them are factory sealed.
I'm the boss should not be allowed to die guy. The Bee Gees Sgt. Pepper went straight to the cutout bins.
The Bee Gees, the one I just showed.
Ah.
This is a sealed first press. I called this a Honky Tonk Women on my video short the other day. Honky Tonk Women was on it. That was the first track, but it was called Through the Past Darkly Big Hits Volume 2. It's a hexagon, octagon, and they had to seal the import because the only way they could use. That's why the corners are, because it's a. But how you know it's a first press? It's got that little hole, so you could tell if it's a mono or stereo in the United Kingdom. If this was red in here, it would have been a mono pressing. But that's sealed from 1969 from United Kingdom. So that's pretty cool.
Dave Evans said hi, Frank and Sticker family.
How you doing, Dave Evans? Dave Evans, did you ever get your Badfinger No Dice UK military export in the mail? Last time you said it was running late. I hope you've got it by now. Let's show the other things from the fest.
Before you start on that, a little Beatles corner. Could you say how much those records are?
Well, what are they interested in? I haven't come up with prices yet.
The little Beatles corner was saying how
She's probably wanting to know.
The sealed?
Tell you send us some.
The sealed ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Abbey Road is up on eBay already. STICKERMANIA 2853. 2853 on eBay. It's up there for $122 already. But I would sell it I'd sell it $100 and I can ship and not sell it through eBay. And the Sgt. Pepper is the same price, $100 ship. But I gotta charge something for shipping because of the heat. So I would have to have $110 a piece to cover the FedEx shipping on these. $110 shipped on the Abbey Road sealed or the Sgt. Pepper from 1978. Because the regular postal service is, would be a risk to send these sealed albums right now.
Caesar.
$110 shipped.
Caesar.
This is $110 shipped also. Okay.
Caesar. I would say Rolling Stones Can't Get No Satisfaction, and then the Beatles Twist and Shout. Those are my two favorites for each. My favorite for each.
Yeah, Satisfaction. The Rolling Stones can't get away with. Mick Jagger said when he turned 40, he would never be singing Satisfaction again, and he's 82 and still singing it. Gotta kind of sing it. This is already sold. The 1974 floor mat that I got, rubber floor mat to promote the 10th anniversary of the Beatles coming to America. But that's pretty cool. And then we got to show the Funko Pops. The Funko Pops, I know Thomas Crook was interested in this at the Beatle Fest, the Fest for Beatle fans in Chicago from 2012, pretty sure. That is the date on them. It's 2012. That's a blue meanie. So these are all in perfect shape in the shipping box. John Lennon. Paul McCartney, number 28. John Lennon was 27. The blue meanie was 31. Ringo Starr's number 30. Perfect, no bends, no coin, perfect shape. And George Harrison's number 29. I would sell this in the shipping box, shipped for, before I put it on eBay, for $350. $350 on the Funko Pops shipping box. It says Funko Beatles Yellow Submarine Pop 5-pack assortment. Show me the lunchbox. Vinyl lunchbox that I showed in the Terry Cranes in the collector's panel at the Fest for Beatle fans. He somehow missed it in his book. He spent a half hour at the Fest for Beatle fans on Saturday looking for it in his book, and he said he mistakenly did not put it in the book. He only had the caboodle and the blue tin lunchbox. So this is the original 1964 Air Flight. He had the round hat case, carrying case, but he did not have this in his book. Nims Enterprise Air Flight. Got a working latch. These latches bust off pretty easy because the red one that's on there doesn't have the top that's on eBay. And hardly any splits at all here on the corners. Pretty fragile piece. But I'd sell that for $950 before I put it on eBay. $950 shipped.
Alright, Caesar, thank you. And then Thomas Crook said, the Funko Pops are nice, but right now I'm broke. And then, I'm the Paul should not be allowed to die guy. Funko Pops have lost value, but I don't think that the Beatles, of anything, never loses value.
Yeah.
Alright, what else do I got? That's mostly what I got at the Fest. About ready to put this Flip Your Way game with no corner splits up on eBay. I would sell this for $250 shipped. Somebody wants to buy that in the next 24 hours. No corner splits. Tough to get them in that condition because these were never factory sealed at the time. They only had a plastic wrap over the game pieces and the cards. And it's got the original brochure for the other Milton Bradley games inside. The game board is pretty cool. Showed it to you before. Beatles when they were pretty young. And the instructions are in that inner tray right there. Pretty nice flip your way games. I've only had about 4 of them in my lifetime have been in that shape. They usually always have wear right here. $250 shipped. I think Wolfie Baby was interested in those.
Max Edison, hi Frank. I can commit to $350 now for the Funko dolls.
All right, we got it sold. Funko Pops. You better make a note on that.
Do you want?
They better send you an email to you. Show them your email.
Gotta get a hold of me, Mr. _STICKERMANIA at yahoo.com. And then I can send you my PayPal information. $350. And that was, who was it?
Max Edison.
Max Edison.
Edison.
All right. Sold a couple things tonight. Good job.
I didn't mean to take it off. I accidentally hit it. Next thing you click it done.
Oh. That's fine, we got him.
Oh, no.
I found this the other day in my fan club collection. So this is the original mailer in 1966 for the Circle 45, because Brian Epstein was he was promoting the Circle at the same time. They opened up for the Beatles on 66 at Shea Stadium. And it says, for demonstration use only, not for sale. It must have been after Red Rubber Ball. It says, please don't ever leave me. It's in bigger print, so it must have been the A side. But I don't know. Money to Burn's the other side. It says, from Columbia, compliments of Beatles USA Limited, New York City. And it's got the original mailing envelope. So I thought that was something I should have shown today. Tomorrow I have a big collection. I won in an auction of a estate from a lady in the New York area. Coming, and it has tickets stub for the 65 Shea Stadium, and it has a ticket stub for the 1964 on September 20th, 1964. The Beatles played their last show on their first American tour, and it was a benefit show at for the benefit show. I don't know all the information now. I can't remember, but it was only 3,600 people, and I have a ticket stub for that. It's the last Beatles show or the first tour. And I also have the unique program from that night, which is Perry Cox sold for over $1,000. And I have the complete Murray the K fan club kit, including the Beatles single. And it's like 50 pieces of the Murray the K promo kit or fan club kit. I have the complete kit coming, and I also have a banner that was held at one of those shows. Either the Shea Stadium or the 64 was all part of I won all the lots that had anything to do with the Beatles. So it'll be pretty amazing when I show that on Saturday. Coming in a day late. All right, what other things we got to show? We showed the Beatles for sale. Butcher covers. My last second state I had was in the shrink. I might have already mentioned that I sold this to my when I went to the Fest for Beatle fans for $2,500 in the shrink. You can't see the V-neck, but the butcher cover's underneath there. You don't find a second state much better than that. A number 3 from Scranton Mono. Somebody sold one of these sealed the other day that didn't have a butcher cover underneath there for a couple $1,000s. What is it? No. So if you put those two together, you can see where this one's trim, and this is the original width. There's no butcher cover underneath there, but that's pretty freaky. Somebody bought a 4-state on eBay for $2,500, and it didn't have a butcher cover underneath it.
Max Edison said, "Hey Frank, it's Arthur, aka Max Edison from Philly. Will PayPal you." Well, you just send it to the email Mr._STICKERMANIA@yahoo.com.
German pressings. Got a batch of German pressings the other day with the Beatles. Got a different cover. It's supposed to have a different, one of the songs is supposed to have a different mix on this. Hard Day's Night with a different kind of cover. Stereo from the 70s from Germany. And the Help. See, the cover's a lot different on the Help. I think they're even in a different order too. And you got the Horzu, and it's got the mistitle of "You Got to Hide Your Love Away." It says HILDE on the label instead of hide. So they couldn't get the titles exactly right when they were translating them. And then, of course, the Magical Mystery Tour 1977. That's the Apple, but it's the same A1B3 matrices. That's on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store for $300. Excellent condition. What else after the German? Well, I have this is we showed a Sgt. Pepper. This is a Parlophone 19 -1 tube cut. Very good plus condition from 67 in England. And I would sell that for $100 shipped, FedEx shipped. You got the gatefold cover that cracks when you open it up, and you got the flaps on top. That's how you know you got original 67. It doesn't have the wide spine. But it's got the -1 in the dead wax. Tube cut. Tube cut lasted till mostly 1969. Abbey Road, then went to solid state. But there are some, like the Beatles for Sale, that were made in the 70s from the tube cut lacquers. I'm pretty sure this one is a -1. One of them's -1. You got a -3 on the A side and a -1 on the B on side 2. Somewhere I got one that's still a tube cut left of -1. What other things to show before we finish this up?
Thank you, Caesar. I'll try it out.
Got a Led Zeppelin. Oh, my Peter Asher story from the fest. I had the original photos of him as a kid from the Connie DeNave collection, and Peter was sitting at supper up about 11 o'clock at night, and we were just a couple tables down from him, and I took the photos over to him. And so I showed them to Peter, and he was amazed at how because they were made from the original negatives, how great the pictures were. And I said, if anybody in the world deserves these pictures, it's you there, Peter. And I just gave them to him. But that's this is a World Without Love. Sheet music is autographed by Peter Asher and Gordon Wallen when he was alive. Gordon, I'm saying his name wrong probably. Wallen.
Peter and Gordon. And we just said.
What? I don't know. The guy annoys me at certain points. So
Golden Waller. Golden Waller. So when they recorded this album here, Peter Asher was 19 and Gordon Waller was 18. So Peter was a year older than Gordon at the time. But I'm pretty sure Gordon's been gone for about 20 years. This is the first 45 I ever bought in my lifetime. I just liked the song. And later on I discovered that it had John Lennon and Paul McCartney as the writing credits. But this song was purely wrote by Paul McCartney for Peter and Gordon. There's even a demo out there that Peter Asher owns of Paul doing a demo of the song.
That was the Arthur in Philly. I get it now. He's already paid you. He sent
Arthur's
That's who wanted the freaking... he bought him. He just bought him. He just sent the money. So now I get you, Arthur. My fault.
Arthur C.
Greg Theo said Gordon Waller. Yeah. He said Gordon Waller.
Yeah, Gordon Waller.
And Greg Theo.
He's asking for a copy.
Wants a copy of that Stones with the names on the front or the numbers on the front of them, but I didn't know what we're doing with that yet. So
those are expensive.
Yeah, so I just kind of like left it alone. But the guy got mad because I was ignoring his comment, but I left it alone because I knew you wanted some money for him.
And these prints I made are expensive, $40 a piece if you want one with the names. I had to spend a lot of money to get a hold of these. I have one that has all 5 of them on it too, but so what did I say? $40 a piece.
Yeah, $40 a piece.
These original photos that don't exist, these are even a lot more. This Carnegie Hall photo was $200. All right, so the three photos I got over there for him. So this is a sealed Led Zeppelin for House of the Holy, has a belly band. And it's got the hype sticker for Dire Maker on here, and the hype sticker with all the tracks. So it's pretty rare to get it with this hype sticker up there. The Beatle BC13 box set that I got in from France. Tomorrow, I've been kind of rushed this week. I got to listen to the Abbey Road because the mid-range is mixed up higher on this pressing from France. So in 1973, when Abbey Road was closed for construction, all the master tapes were sent over to France. And they mixed Abbey Road a little bit different on this pressing. And it's got the unique rarities. Got the, this was different than the rarities that you usually see in these BC13s. This is like the one they released on Capitol Records, but this is a France, Pathé McConney from France pressing of the rarities. And this one has the Lennon mistake on Helter Skelter. It says, and you can hear the classic Lennon statement, "I got blisters on my fingers" at the end of Helter Skelter. Well, that should have been Ringo. But look how nice that outer box is and that condition of this BC13 from France. It's a little darker in color too. Let's see, did I show everything? Showed all the stuff I got at the fest. Showed the photos. We talked about Billy Joel.
You did your segment of the day for
Chapel.
Yeah.
Chapel we've done. Oh, Beatles in Cincinnati. When I got those photos the other day from the Beatles in concert at the Cincinnati Gardens, I got this program also, this original program. Cost $1 in 1964. It was only available in the Cincinnati tri-state area. And these are all photos of the Beatles on stage. That's when they came to Cincinnati at the airport. And the WSAI Good Guys. Dusty Rhodes mortgaged his house so he could pay the Brian Epstein to get the Beatles to come to Cincinnati, but I imagine he made a lot of money on that. And they sold a Beatles 33. It was only a 7-inch. It says LP record, but when you actually got this, it was only a 7-inch flexi disc, I think. It was $1. It was listed in there. Sold a Beatles pillow there. And it's got a lot of photos. It got the press conference. And it's got the Ringo on stage. The Cincinnati Gardens only had seats for 8,000 people, but they let 3,000 extra in. There were 11,000 people. Standing room only was $3 tickets. And the temperature was 115 degrees. You can see the sweat rolling off the Beatles here. Paul's face just full of sweat. Ringo and John Lennon probably doing Twist and Shout. It's a pretty cool booklet. It's in good shape too. The prices on these here or at these places, $1.25 for a whole steak plate, 1964.
Dave Evans did receive the Badfinger. Finally, it's beautiful. How much for a Led Zeppelin Houses of Holy?
The sealed one with the hype sticker from '77 is on eBay, but I'd sell it. I can pull it down, but I need to have $175 FedEx shipped for the Led Zeppelin Houses of the Holy. All right, I think we showed about everything. Any other questions here before we stop this?
No.
I think my director, producer is a little bit tired tonight, so we will be back Saturday night. I got this amazing Beatles memorabilia collection coming from the New York area. Have that on Saturday and a few other things, and those wingdings I have from Mazzy. I won't get till next week. And next Wednesday, the date will be, what's today's date?
It's the 13th.
So on the 20th, me and Mikey Arugula will do Every Little Beatles Thing episode number 11. Me and Mikey Arugula next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
It's 8:30 p.m. is our normal time. We were just off different time in Chicago.
Chicago, they were an hour difference than us, and we went to the auction and the collector's panel, and by the time that was over with, it was already almost 9 o'clock. So we did a rush job of doing that out there in the hotel lobby. So thanks a lot from Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks for checking with us today, and we will be back Saturday night at our usual time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And are you going to sing a little Mr. Moonlight to send us out?
I don't know the lyrics.
You need to practice on it.